Hello, my friends, and welcome to this pick a card reading, which is on where do you need to focus on right now. So I've used the Eight of Pentacles, or the Eight of Coins, to signify your choices. Pile 1, Pile 2, and Pile 3. Pile 1 is the Tower of the Divine. Pile 2 is the Tarot by Caro. And pile 3 is the Wild Unknown. So those are your three choices: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I shall see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. Now you chose the Eight of Coins and the Tarot of the Divine. Sorry for the little camera shake there. But yeah, right off the bat, like, I'm getting the idea that it's quite difficult for you to focus right now. It may be something that you're trying to focus on, but it may be that the kind of the task at hand is pretty difficult to focus. It's almost like you know that you've got something to do, but yeah, it's pretty difficult for you to do so. You also know that it's really important that you have to focus on this, and yeah, it's just quite difficult. There's some pain involved in you focusing in on this, dealing with it. A bit of a burdensome kind of focus. You may feel that if you focus on this thing, it might take you away from other things, or that it's just something that you have to do. Like, there's a sense of responsibility that's here that isn't just dependent on you. It's like other people, sorry, not dependent on you. Well, it could be that, but it's also that what you do will affect other people around you. This could be to do with family. I'm seeing maybe children here, or it could be to do with like siblings, or it could be to do with people that you work with, and maybe focusing on your own things is quite difficult because they may be distracting you, or there's other burdens that are put on you. So then there's this kind of like sense of you not being able to do it in an easy way, I'm sensing. So let's see what, I'll just pop that there, what astrology is around you at the moment, and also what's going to help you. So for pile 1, what do they need to focus on? What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? Now, I am just thinking when I was doing this reading that this is like looking like the immediate kind of future, like right now and probably the next month or two. I don't know if it will stretch into the next 3 months. It could do, but we'll see. What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? Okay, so we've got Cancer in the reverse, which is interesting. So it kind of coincides with what that, what I kind of picked up initially about this sense of responsibility, and not being able to go forward as much as you like. The image that is coming to mind is, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but like when there's a bucket of crabs, that when one crab tries to get out of the bucket, the other crabs pull it down. So there may be that sense that's going on. There's also like a bit of a sense of a duty as well, and that duty may be holding you back from being able to focus properly. Okay, I'm just going to do another one. What does pile 1? Thank you. And then again, Now we have waning crescent, which is the surrender, the release of the control of the universe. Assess your values, shine inward, rest, relax, recuperate, allowing good for deep breathing, self-care, compassion, and reconnecting with the self. But it was reversed. So yeah, there's this sense of not being able to focus, not being able to get to that point. Okay, let's see what the yogic path has to say about this. Okay, Kali. Wow, and you got two. So you got Kali and you got Kriya. Now, from what I know initially about Kriyas are their chants that help us focus. So I think here with these cards, it almost like gives you the opportunity. I'll just hold that up so that you can see that, because it is really beautiful. Kind of finding the gem, the kind of good thing in what you're actually focusing on. And there we go, we've got Kali as well. So there's almost like this energy where you just have to get on with it and you have to attack it. And you have to move forward in a way that's going to be really, you know, there has to be this sense of determination. Let me just double check Kriya. So I just had a quick look, and with Kali, I think it's really important that you do focus on the right thing, that you see what it is that is really true to yourself, that you are able to truly surrender to, that you can focus on. And you, in a way, you have to do it with such careless abandon of the responsibilities that you may believe that are attached to what you have to focus on. Like, say for example, you're a mother and you know you've got all the responsibilities of your kids, but there is like a project, maybe you've started up like a knitting company or something like that, and you started knitting bits and pieces to sell, you know, and you really enjoy it. It's something that gives you a lot of happiness, and that this would say like you have to go for it, and you really have to allow the kind of responsibility that you feel and go with it, because I just get the feeling that there will be a real essence of FOMO if you don't, like fear of missing out. And you know, I feel like there will be a sense of regret if you do. We'll see more with the tarot, but I just feel that like what you're thinking that you need to like focus on, actually it has to be what's congruent with your heart and your values. And with the Kriya, it's about being in the state of flow. So with that sense of flow, you can only get that with something that you truly enjoy, not something that you feel burdened with. And that's what this is saying. It's saying that you need to focus on what is bringing you joy and what brings you love, you know. If you do love bringing up your kids more than you do to the other thing or whatever, then that's the thing that you need to be focused on, and then you need to leave those other things behind. But whatever it is that gives you joy in that respect of that example, and then also in generally, in a general terms, it's about how you focus on that and how you really have to give yourself to it. You have to give it and be committed to it in a way that, you know, really adheres to your values. Okay, so I'm going to pull one more, because I was just tempted. I might actually pull more than one. Okay, right. So one just came out straight away. So we've got the hourglass. Time is of the essence, and it was reversed. I feel like some of you don't feel like you've got time. You feel like time's running out. And I would say that, like, if it's going to be something that is, you know, about you focusing on something that brings you joy. If you're worried about what it is exactly that is bringing you joy, you know, there's your internal guidance system that comes into play. Like, what is it that you feel, or sorry, what is it that you want to focus on? I've just realized that my mic isn't plugged in. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, like, if you are focusing on something that isn't bringing you joy, that isn't aligned with your highest purpose, that doesn't put you in flow, you'll actually find that time goes quicker. So I think it's really important for you to focus on what brings you joy. And the idea of this story with the 8 of coins is that she was running out of time. She had like, I think either 8 or 6 years to complete this task, but she wasn't allowed to speak about it. And she actually ran out of time to complete it. So because the curse got broken, or something happened with the curse before she had the time to finish it. So it's really important that you understand that time isn't of the essence here. Time is of the essence, and you don't have as much time as you think. And I've got moon decks as well, which says to me that this is something that's immediate, you know. And you know, this is just about starting. You know, I feel that if you get started on something, then you'll start to kind of generate momentum. And I think that's really important. Let's have a little look. I'm just going to pull one of these for you. Mystery. And I think, yeah, mystery, it's that sense of you not knowing like what's going to come if you do really go for this endeavor. And I think you have to be comfortable with that mystery, comfortable with the fact that you don't know what's going on. And I just get a big sense of control, particularly with these two, and you have to let go of that control. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say about your situation. What does pile 1 need to focus on right now, dear Spirit? What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? Okay, the devil's popped up. What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? What does pile 1... Okay, so we have the 3 of Swords. We have the Page of Wands. What does pile 1 need to focus on right now? We have the 8 of Swords. 7 of Cups. The Devil reversed. Interesting. And yeah, do I have enough time? Yeah, I'm feeling. And the Queen of Swords. Okay, right. So it's actually going to break your heart if you don't follow this. I think in a way, you not being able to focus on this thing that is close to your heart. And I do get a wrestle between something that's a duty and something that you just want to do. I don't know exactly what it is. It could be a personal project. And it could either be at work or at home. But I do feel that, you know, there may have been some emotional kind of setbacks that you had previously about starting it before. You may have started it. You may have wanted to focus on that. But, you know, with the disappointments, and also with this sense of like thinking that you've got so much else to do and to get on with, that, you know, it's almost like you're self-sacrificing. You're actually cutting yourself and hurting yourself, because this 3 of Swords is about this bird that got rescued by this farmer, and then she, as a reward, she ended up going to the farmer and presenting herself as a maiden. But every night she went into hiding and asked him not to look at her because they were quite poor. So what she did is she cut off parts of her wings so that they could make these shirts, I think it was, or something like that. Interesting how we've got shirts. So yeah, or like some kind of making something. So I feel like this is a creative project, or something that you really feel that you could do something and create something, but it's a cost. There's a big cost. And with the Page of Wands, I feel like you are able to, you know, you've got a real verve and a real vigor to be able to be something that's almost new, almost possibly even groundbreaking in a respect of something that's new. Like it could be such a lovely project. It could be something that really kind of pushes you forward, that gives you joy, that allows you to learn more about yourself and allows you to learn more about what's going on in the field of where you want to go into. But the 8 of Swords is like almost like this sense of restriction, that you're believing that you have this you know, you have these restraints, these restrictions, but actually you don't, because it's all in your own thinking. I feel like there's a lot of overthinking going on about what your options are, and I don't, you know, this is your own prison, because look, the castle is there in the background. So I'm just going to double check what this story is. I'm not too sure about that. So yeah, this is about someone who was escaping, and then she's now too scared to leave the cave after she's escaped. So, you know, sometimes we allow ourselves to be in a situation that's really comfortable, but it stifles us. It disallows us from being able to like fulfill our real potential. And there's a lot of dreaming going on about this. There's a lot of like possible potentials that are being thought about, that your heart is being pulled in all of these different directions of the things that could be achieved, particularly to do with this project, but it just feels like you are very unsure. And I think, you know, you're doing your best not to be tempted by any kind of fantasy. You're being pragmatic, and you're seeing what the real kind of material implications are. You know, you're thinking more with your head than you are with, you know, just because I want to do it. But the thing is that there almost seems like there's too much of that going on, because you've got this restriction here. You know, because these two cards are coming up to say to you to embody. So there's a sense that you actually need to like step into this energy a little bit more, so that you can actually like embody that. And it's good, you know, in a way that you're not like getting carried away with it, but there's something that's kind of stopping you. And, you know, this Queen of Swords energy is very much that, you know, you're this kind of like stern, stoic energy where you may have tried this before. This might have been a project that you did when you were younger or something like that. You wanted to take it up again. And then I don't know why I just got roller skating in my head, but like something like that. And, you know, there's this sense of sternness, and also with her in this kind of like image of a queen and having to, you know, kind of maybe have this image because, you know, she can't let that down. So yeah, that's kind of like the implications of where you are now in the respect of going for what, you know, deciding on what to focus on. But let's see how you can like move forward into this, you know, into being able to focus on the right thing. Okay, so you've got the Three of Cups, you've got the Wheel of Fortune reversed, you've got the King of Wands reversed, you've got the Hermit, Temperance, okay, interesting, and you've got the Five of Wands. Okay, right. So I think what's going on here is that you know, you will have a really good, from the Three of Swords to the Three of Cups. I think that's beautiful. Bottom of the deck energy is the Ten of Wands. I think this is something reversed. So I think this is something that's going to really enrich your social life. It's going to help you. Also, I think a big thing as well is about collaboration. Getting others to help you, getting others to, you know, it's going to give a sense of life if you go forward and you focus on that thing. It's going to give you a sense of enjoyment. I really feel like it's also going to give like this injection into your life that's going to help you to be a little bit more happy generally. And I think that with the Wheel of Fortune reversed, there has to be a loosening of expectation that is on that anything is going to happen from it. You have to do it from the sense that you just want to do it. With the King of Wands, there may be somebody who is not really wanting to support you. I don't know, that might be a partner or someone like that. There may also be patterning and conditioning from a possible like father figure or somebody who embodies like a male energy in terms of like, you know, the kind of, you know, I just get the idea of someone who says, oh, well, there's professionals that do that sort of thing, so you don't really need to do that. And I think that kind of naysaying energy, whether it's, you know, you or anybody else, it needs to kind of go away from that. You need to just ignore that and fly towards the sun. And I think that happens because with the Hermit, it's you need to kind of, it's ironic because like you collaborate with the right people, but it's almost like you have to do this on your own. This is something that you have to work through on your own because there's this patterning that you have to overcome that's here. And that's why this Eight of Swords is, that's why this card came up alongside that, because it's those words that keep you, or that attitude that keeps you in that prison. Yeah, I feel like that might even be you that's saying, oh yeah, well there's so many other better people than me that can do that sort of thing. And I think like if you want to work on your dreams coming true and that like you know you have these options, you need to like take some time on your own to find out what is the right option for you to focus on. It could be like, as I said, like it could be, I'm feeling like it's a creative project. You starting up maybe a side business or something like that. Maybe you want to make cupcakes or something like that. And, you know, you really enjoy it, but then the implications of it could be quite, you know, taxing. But I know quite a few people that have done quite well from making cakes, and everybody loves cake. So, you know, I think it's a really good thing, but this will be something that you will need to work on, and it will be for you, even though like, you will be able to be with other people. It will be something that ultimately you will work on your own. And Temperance is with the Devil. It's kind of this imbalance of you trying to be pragmatic, I feel. You fighting kind of your own urges. Because the thing is that with Temperance the right way up, that would be perfect with the Devil. You know, it comes just before the Devil. But with it reversed, it's almost like there's almost like a sense of stopping yourself from enjoying yourself, from allowing yourself to really see that this is something that could really give you so much. With the Five of Wands here, I feel like you may be overwhelmed by the sense of competition. You may also feel that there is, you know, there's just too much. There's just too much. There's a sense of overwhelm here. And I think that that's what the Temperance card is saying, for you to believe that you can handle it, that you do have the energy and the ability to be able to navigate that. And once you do believe that, I think you'll change that, because you've got this Queen of Swords here and that stoic energy. It may be also that you are reluctant to get involved with other people because you may think that the competition is too much. You may not think that you might meet like-minded people or whatnot. But I think, you know, with some sense of solitude in the respect of you being able to like truly work on what you're doing and giving yourself the time to focus in and do that, because you need to give yourself the time. And then once you've done that, and I know we're saying here that you don't, I think that's more of a thing that you think you don't have time, but actually you do have time. Everybody has time to be able to make things for, to make, you know, you make time for the things that matter to you. So I think that's what needs to be kind of really looked at. And maybe you need to like take some time out in order to decide what it is exactly. It does seem like, you know, to actually make a decision, you need to take some time out for yourself to understand what's right for you. Where is it that I do want to put my focus? Do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Do I have it in me? Is this something, a really good question that I have for myself is, am I going to regret it if I don't do it? Am I going to regret it if I don't do it? And if the answer is yes, then I do it. It's better to regret something that you did than something that you didn't do. So, you know, and I feel like with this Devil energy, that caution is kind of bleeding into that Temperance, which is causing the imbalance, you know. And it also could be, there could be an imbalance. You could be like recalibrating your normal life in order to kind of like help yourself to focus on this. And it may be quite difficult initially. But I think you will have the power. I know you have the power to get through it. So, yeah, that's kind of the advice. That's what's going on. But the Ten of Wands reversed as well kind of tells me that you have to do it. Because if you don't, then you're just going to be really kind of upset with yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to get some Goddess energy for you. The Spirit, what does pile 1 need to focus on? Freya. This is about like compromising oneself, like in order to do, but she's got the strength to do it. So it's the same thing as I said, like in the respect of like that you do have the strength to do things. And she's also on the new moon. So that says to me that you have the strength to do a lot, but don't spread yourself too thinly. The focus has to be on something, because if you do, then that means you end up compromising, because she ended up sleeping with various like people to get what she wanted. And I don't feel like you want to dissipate your energy. And with that new moon there, it tells me that the Hermit is very important for you to get that kind of like self focus and energy. Meditation would be really good as well. Okay, so I'm going to get one of the mansions of the moon to help you with this situation. For pile 1, can I have a mansion of the moon? Thank you. So we have confession. Okay, interesting. And that's mansion 23 with... actually, I'm going to put that there. Yeah, so mansion 23 with Venus and Virgo. Sorry, Venus and Mercury. Let me also... And then... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Because it's all part of the same deck, but like I wanted to pick one of each rather than you just get one. Okay, and can I have a phase of the moon, please? Okay, so then we have the full moon, which is interesting. I did see the full moon. So it seems like the new moon and the full moon are going to be important times for you. And it's also going to be this sense of like you being able to flower. So with the waning crescent as well, I feel like you may get to this point. That's why I think it's going to happen quite quickly. Like you're gonna think that I've got to do this. And I need to be able to surrender to this, but it may take the whole cycle of you going through to the full moon, to the new moon, from the waning crescent, sorry, and then going to the full moon. So we're talking about a month. We're not talking about too long. So let me just double check what the meaning of these are, and I will get back to you. So what's really interesting is that you've got here, which is Freya, which is about innovative thinking. So she, even though she did like have to sleep with like various different people to get what she wanted, there is a sense of you having to, what your idea is actually something that's really innovative and new. And this is also about, you being able to discuss your plans with other people, being able to talk to other people to discuss whether or not, and people that you trust, that will help you in deciding what is the best thing to focus on. And, it's going to be really successful, actually, what you decide in the end to focus on, if it's in congruency with what you really want to do, because then it will give birth to this sense of a flower. And there may be also an ability for you to, really manage yourself and reverse this temperance. Okay, so just before I close out the reading, I'm just going to pull you a chakra card to see what area you need to... Oh, you've got 2. So you've got recovery, and then you've got wisdom. So recovery and wisdom. So you've got the third eye chakra, and then not the third eye, you've got Sahasrara chakra, which is the crown chakra, and you've got the heart chakra. So in your heart, like what's right to do. That's why I think it's really important to go into the Hermit and to take that time out for yourself. And the recovery is that I think, when you connect with your higher self, you're able to recover in a much easier way. You're able to come back, and bounce back in that respect. So I think that that's really important. Okay, and I'm just going to pull one of these, which is Oracle cards. Okay, and you'll have 2. Wow, so you've got the High Priest, Guardian. So this is something that's divinely guided. And then you've also got the Black Cat as well, which is psychism. So that says to me that because, there's a real sense of just because you don't know what's going on. And it's interesting how it came up under the High Priestess, like the mystery card. This is divinely guided. Like, I think there's something very important for you to connect to your spirituality and something that is innately within you in order to do this thing. You know, maybe that you might want to start up like a tarot reading, you know, thing, or maybe start doing some like runes or something like that. There's something that might be like to do with like you connecting with your spirituality. But you are divinely guided towards this, and there's a guardian around it that will help you to kind of move that, particularly with the Kali energy. Okay, so to close out, actually no, I did too many cards. Like I thought, oh yeah, I'm going to do like a quick reading, but no, actually, my readings never become quick. Wow. So this is some angelic magic for you, some angelic power for you. And then we've got vulnerability. You know, you need to be vulnerable in spaces where, like, you know, things are going to be new. And again, we're connecting with this like Sahasrara chakra. And that is connection with the divine, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And the only way that you can begin to be vulnerable is when you start to take out time for yourself. So, okay, now we will be closing out the reading, and I will here now pop in. This is like your powers. So, or a little kind of thing to help you with your powers. Okay. And you got here the power to withdraw. Wow. So we've got even more hermit energy. You are powerful. You return to your center and see what matters right now. And then gently send energy forward. And then gently send energy forward. I thought I wasn't recording then. In time to pave a path of peace. So, Pearl, one, I think there's a clear thing for you to go in and focus on yourself to find out what the answer is, to focus in on what you truly desire. Because there's clearly something that you really want to do, and I think it's something that you're being called to do by these. There's something in your intuition that's really calling you towards doing something. And you have to withdraw your energy and be okay with withdrawing your energy to focus on that. You know, you have to get out of the guilt stuff and whatever. And you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. But that will only happen when you're allowing, you know, yourself to be on your own and going inside. So I definitely think like maybe some kind of retreat or something like that might be useful for you to have some time to focus in. Like when you're recovering, that's when, you know, when you go into the shower and then you have all the best thoughts, or on the loo. It's when you're letting go. It's when you're in a space when you're by yourself and you're just cleansing yourself and regenerating yourself. So with that in mind, that might help you to kind of connect to where you need to that kind of spend your focus. But anyway, so I hope that helped. If it did, please do like this video. Please do subscribe for more videos. All the best with your endeavours, my loves, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. You chose the Tarot by Caro, and you chose this 8 of Pentacles. Now from here, I see that there is a want to spend some time on something that really, that you know that you're good at. That you kind of like know that you need that focus. It's almost like maybe there's something that you're working on. Maybe there's something that you already kind of are doing. And you want to focus on that. Something that, you know, it may be a skills trade that you've started. So it may be something like, you know, you've started to make jewelry or something like that. Or dedicate something to a project. So maybe you might be involved. It's interesting. I'm actually seeing something to do with like a community, but you do need to look at the particulars. Like, I don't know, you may have been, you know, appointed like a kind of finance officer for something, or like some kind of control kind of person for maybe a company or something. But then there's something else that you might do outside of it. So for example, like with those kind of skills, you may, for example, take up archiving and be really interested in archiving. So it's about you being able to hone in into that, and finding something that you feel that, you know, you could really get involved in. I'm seeing like intricate things like jewelry making, things that acquire attention to detail that's happening here. And involves you being indoors as well. So, you know, you'd kind of be like a busy little bee kind of thing. But yeah, that's the idea that I'm getting from that sense of focus that's there, that you want to place your focus on. Hope you can see that. Okay, yeah, you can. Okay, cool. So I'm going to get some astrology for you, pile 2. Pile 2, what does pile 2's focus need to be on? What does pile 2's focus need to be on right now? Thank you. Water. So connecting with your emotions, connecting with the element of water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and another one, the 5th house. Something that's going to bring you a lot of joy, you know, arts, creativity. You could be doing artwork, you know, something that you're going to, you know, I really feel like whatever this is going to really allow you to be beautifully creative. I'm definitely seeing like some kind of jewelry work or something like that. Okay. Ajna. Wow. And connecting with your 3rd eye chakra. That's amazing. Okay. I'm just going to pull one of these for you. The Wyvern, your secrets are safe, but it came up reversed. Okay. Right. And one of these. Ghost. Okay, right. Okay, interesting. Interesting. You know what I'm getting? I'm getting like the, you know, maybe there may have been some where you think that there's maybe some support, but there isn't. And also there may be a sense that people may think that you go into this space and you're just not available. With the Wyvern, with your secrets are safe, just be aware of who you're telling this to, who you're talking to about it, who you're you know, wanting to engage with on it, because I think it might be something that it needs to be kept in secret. And I don't know why, and we haven't got like the tarot up yet, but I'm just thinking there may be a sense of competition. So let's have a look, because you're deeply intuitive with this. And I think it's something that's going to really expand on your creativity. I'm definitely seeing something, you know, something you being at a desk, because I don't know, I just saw the Vesica Pisces here as well, and then this kind of like sacred geometry as well with this triangle here, and that triangle is going down as well. So you've got those two kind of symbols of water. Something deeply creative, deeply creative. But I think that, yeah, in terms of telling people, it could even be that like what you do is something that kind of like slips in and out. Like you're wondering whether or not the focus actually slips in and out. Like sometimes you get inspiration, sometimes you don't. And I think also if you tell people what you're doing, there's also there's that saying, don't tell people that, no, it's not a saying, it's actually scientifically proven that if you decide or if you tell people what you're doing, you end up not doing it. So there may be like some kind of thing that you're thinking about doing and you're thinking about focusing on, that's a creative project, but then you end up not doing it because you've told people, oh yeah, I've been thinking about doing this, I've been thinking about doing this a lot, but I just haven't got round to it. 9 of Wands is the first card to come up. For pile 2, what does pile 2 need to focus on? Wheel of Fortune upright. Lovely. Yeah. 3 of Cups. Interesting. Yeah. Knight of Pentacles. Reversed. Knight of Pentacles and 9 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, we've got 2 here. I'm going to put that there. 2 of Cups. Wow, okay. And then I'm going to put that here, 7 of Pentacles. Okay, right. So, I mean, pile 2, you've got like masses of potential. I can see here, like you've got a lot. But I just think that, you know, I don't know about the support in the respect of the people that you are around. I don't know if there are people around you that actually support you in what you're doing. But also, I think that if you tell people like that what you're doing, you're going to find that you never get started. And, you know, this sense of independence is lost, particularly with this 3 of Cups and this 2 of Cups. It's almost like I feel like you need to have people around you in order to get started on this, even though this will be something that you're doing on your own. It's really interesting. But you might not be doing it on your own. You might be waiting for a collaboration on this. And I think the main thing to do is like, you've just got to get it started. And it's interesting because the first thing I kind of thought with that ghost card is that people left you, which is the meaning of ghost, isn't it? So like people that say that they're going to be there and then they just disappear. And, you know, there can be a high level of defensiveness about that. But I think that, you know, this is an opportunity for you to like focus truly on what you are doing, not on what other people are doing. And it may be like that you feel that it's not, like it's only just so, you know, it's just started. And I think you have to be okay with that. Because that's where we start. You know, the journey of 1,000 steps starts with 1 step. And, you know, you've got to get it to a small kind of, you know, starting off, and then you can kind of build from there. But don't be disappointed. Don't be upset. Like, and I know that's so easy for me to say, but it's, you know, when we say, oh yeah, like we try to collaborate with other people and then they just don't do it. It's pretty tough. But I think that once you start doing things on your own and you start to build something of your own, you'll be able to find that. And I think that this is very, very important for your growth in this. So let's have a look at what else the tarot wants to say. 4 of Swords. Yeah, it's going to be like a period of you not resting. Like, you know, you won't be able to rest with this because you're going to be so busy. But I think that's going to be a really good thing. I really do. With this Knight of Pentacles, I also feel like there's movement. You're going to have to make a move, regardless of whether or not you're waiting for other people. Because I feel like if you're waiting for other people to make a decision, it's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. And I feel like you've tried to. You tried to do it in a group and you've tried to do it with someone on their own. It just hasn't worked out. So you're just going to have to go for it. Okay, so, I mean, like, look, we've got the Sun. I think it's like a blessing in disguise that you're having to do it on your own. And then you've got the 6 of Pentacles. You know, there may be this sense of where you're having to wait for opportunities. And funnily enough, from other people. But it won't be a collaboration. It may be more of the opportunity. And it will give you a sense of reality about where you really stand within this focus that you need to apply. But I really do think that there's this sense of you not focusing on the people that are going to be around you, but on yourself and how you're going to move through this situation. Okay, and then the 3 of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you're going to be really surprised with the results. Because I think this whole time you were waiting for other people. But then because you have been your own kind of... You've been your own anchor. You're the one. You're only depending on you. And you're seeing the reality of that you're starting to see the benefits. And I think that also, like, people, you will get benefactors from places where you didn't think that you would get it. Because you're so determined to do this on your own. Or you're willing to work this on your own. But you have to get out of this state where you're like, you're telling people. Because there may be also people nicking your ideas as well. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's important for you to just like get your head down, knuckle down, and just focus on that thing. Which I feel like is a creative endeavor. I feel like it's something that really brings you joy. It's what you're guided towards. It's something creative. It's something that, you know, really, you could be an artist as well. And I think when you're waiting for collaborators, and also like I do use this analogy a lot, but like, you know, from being an actor, you know, there was always that thing of whether or not you wanted to like wait until, you know, you were going to collaborate with other writers, you were going to write something with someone. And then it just never kind of happens because you're waiting for people to like fulfill your expectations on that. Once you remove that, and also keep your secrets to yourself, then you can kind of like work on your thing and find that, you know, your ships will come in. Okay, we'll get some chakra energy for you. We've got 2 as well. Right, so you've got acceptance. So that's base chakra. That's Muladhara chakra. So this is coming back to the sense of where, you know, you don't need others to have a sense of acceptance and belonging. You make it yourself. And then you have creation. Wow. So yeah, and that's actually, I think that's the top chakra. I thought, oh dear, I said that in the other reading that it was the top chakra. But I think that that's like a sense of divine guidance, in the respect that you know, it matches with the Ajna chakra. It's you know, this is a calling for you to, you know, this is like divine guidance from you. You know, when some people you can just see, it's when say for example you see a dancer dancing, and the way that they dance, it's just like as if they're being channeled, as if something's just working through them. You can see the grace of beauty through them, and you can see that there's just something so special about them that they communicate to an audience. It's that, and I feel that you have got that talent like so much, Pearl, too. So much. Okay, I'm going to pull like some of the mansions of the moon. Yeah, the mansions, or some of the moon cards. So we're going to get you a mansion, a goddess, and a moon phase as well. So we've got Jewel. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. People envy you. I get a sense that people envy your like what you do. They feel like they're at competition with you, which is why you can't seem to get this kind of collaboration effort. Okay. And let's see, I'll get you a goddess energy. Dear Spirit, pile 2, a goddess energy for pile 2. Oh, thank you. Hecate. Wow. So Hecate, I didn't realize, but she was the one that laid out the lamps for Persephone to be able to follow when she went out of the underworld. So, and also this is new moon as well, energy. So this is about you working, you know, yourself on your own. You harnessing your ideas and invoking this incredible energy that you've got here with this. You are really, I don't know, you're probably like some kind of prodigies or something. Like you're really good at what you do. Really, really good on whatever it is that you need to focus on. And that thing, you really do need to focus on it. I really do feel like it's your creative passion. It's your creative, I really do feel like artists or something like that. You're exceptional at it. You're real magicians with it. And you create like such an air of mystery and magic around it that just draws people in, and they get jealous of you because they want that. So yeah, evoke Hecate to also be as a guardian for you, to look after you while you're kind of doing this. Okay, let's see. And then a mansion of the moon, night. Interesting. There's a very protective energy here. So let me just double check what the book says about this, because then there might be a little extra something. I can add a little spice. Pile 2, you got like an extra card because I pulled the wrong one. I didn't pull a mansion. I pulled another mansion. I didn't pull a moon card. So you've got 2 of these, and then I'm going to pull you another one. Okay, so you got promotion, and it was reversed. So I'm just going to have a look at what these are. And that's waxing air moon. So I'll check that out. So my loves, very interesting. So this idea of Jewel, where we have Mars and the Sun here, this is like a sense of healthy competition that you've got. But I think in the respect of what we have with the tarot, I feel like people are wanting to overtake you, because I just get this sense of jealousy, particularly with this Hecate. Now, Hecate has got 3 heads. She can look in the past, the present, and the future. So it's all about like looking at what hasn't worked in the past, what is it that you want to achieve, and what is it that you're looking at now that you can do. And I think when you get this sign of perspective, and it's really interesting how it's just come underneath this Ajna card, it's about you being able to really ascertain where it is that you want to go. So there has to be some focus. The focus has to be inward to yourself. Quite a similar message to pile 1, but a very different context. Like it's the idea of you not focusing on other people in the respect of like what are other people doing, because that's what I feel like. I feel like there's a sense of 5 of Wands energy with this, that you're trying to like look at what other people are doing, and really you need to be concentrating on yourself. The Knight here as well, like you've got the Moon in Pluto here. And there's a sense of duty as well. You know, you may be feeling a sense of duty within the community. I'm just getting an idea where you want to like kind of like look out for people when you're in a space where you're with maybe other artists or something like that, or whoever it is, that whatever kind of community that you're in. But I feel like, you know, you don't, you know, there's a heroic sense about that. That may come out in your actual work, and about how you know, put yourself across. But what I would say is that you don't need to do that. You need to be heroic to yourself. It's you need to save, not other people. Yeah, I feel about this kind of this, you know, save yourself. And I get that thing where, you know, you've got to put on your gas mask before you put it on anybody else. I think that's what is kind of coming across in this card. And with this waxing air giver's promotion, what's really funny is that the card in the upright says that you should tell everybody what you're doing. When it's reversed, it kind of reiterates the message that's come across, that you don't need to do that. And I don't think it is like, it's advising that you don't focus on how you promote yourself. It's actually focusing on how you can be a hero to yourself. Because I think also, because this has a strong connection to water, particularly Cancer, it's about you being able to hone in and give that love to yourself in the respect of you focusing. And that's what the focus is. When you do focus on yourself and you focus on those things that really matter to you. And I think that's also what's going on here. It's about really, really honing in on what matters to you. In this endeavor, in what you're choosing, and keeping your secrets safe, not telling everybody, being consistently aware, because not everybody has your best interests at heart. Interesting. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to pull some angel advice for you. Oh, hello. Wicked. That's amazing. So I went to say wicked. Show my age there. Archangel Uriel, divine wisdom. And again, we have this triangle. So, you know, I think this sense of the unity of the 3 has to be achieved within oneself. And you have got some serious access to divine wisdom. You really have, Pile 2. I really do think that you're some kind of prodigies or something like that in what you do. You're very, very good at it. And Uriel is also about your shining star and about the north, the direction of aligning to your true north. And that would be congruent with this in terms of really going for your dreams and going for what you want. I really feel like this has to be focused on oneself, on you. What else do I need to pull? I think, yeah, one of these as well. Wow, Nemesis. Lessons. There's a lesson you need to learn here, Pile 2. A lesson that will be learned in all of this process and about where you need to focus. And that's 25. So I think, yeah, 7. So it's a lesson that's actually going to make you be a lot better in what you're doing. I feel like this difficulty that you're going through in adjusting your focus is a real lesson in where you need to be, and keeping yourself within this circle as well, which is your own circle. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely like some element of like keeping yourself guarded, protected, allowing yourself to go within and just keeping your boundaries really clear. Okay, so I'm going to pull one of these and then read it to you. These are like innate powers, which are really beautiful. Dear Spirit, for pile 2, can I have one for... Oh, you got 2. So that's lucky you. Right. So we've got this one here, which is the power to tolerate. You are powerful, grateful for the quietness that an insult forces upon you. You count your enemies as your friends for teaching you how to act rather than react. What was I saying about nemesis? Interesting. And then we've got this one, the power to decide. You are powerful. You strengthen your decision-making ability every day. Each small decision prepares you for making the big decisions that have far-reaching implications. Yeah, you've got to trust yourself. And I think the only way you do that is by consistency. And keeping yourself to yourself. You know, you don't have to tell everyone about what you're doing. You really don't. And I think it's really better if you don't. And that's where your focus needs to be, pile 2. Okay, is that everything? Yes, I think it is. I hope you enjoyed that reading. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do like. Please do subscribe for more videos. I also post every day daily readings. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this reading, my darlings, and I'll see you in the next reading. Take care. Bye. Hello, pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So, you chose the Spider 8 of Pentacles from the Wild Unknown Tarot. So, it's almost like a sense that you like to, you spread your web out far and wide. You like your work to affect like many areas. You like it to catch things that are from far and wide. You may like to collaborate with people that are like from far, or many different types of people. I wouldn't be surprised if this is something that's an internet thing. Maybe it's a web business or something like that that you are looking to focus on right now. Also, it's something that you may have like clients from far, and you may have like kind of contacts that you have amassed from maybe many different countries or things like that. So there may be that sense of you wanting to see if you can focus more deeply on that. But yeah, I also get the sense of like casting your net out. So, okay, that's an interesting start. Let's pull out some astrology for you. Pile 3. Okay, so we've got, interesting. So we've got Capricorn here and it's in the reverse. And I think the first thing I get here is that there's almost like a sense of effortlessness that you have. You just kind of do it because it's something that it's just like something that you can do. Ooh. How interesting. And then you got 10th house as well. Wow. So in a way, there may be a sense of you, like you're focused on career, but it's almost like you don't aim to be the best, but it is a big thing for you to focus on your career. It is a big thing for you to achieve well, to do well in this field, but it's not like you're not, I don't see you being driven. It's just like, it's like you're naturally good at it. Pile 3. I like that a lot. Okay, let's have a look at what does pile 3 need to focus on. Wow. So I don't know what these cards mean. We've got Master. This is a really interesting card. Look at that. Master. And then we have Parvati. I think those are 2 gods. So I know Parvati is a god. So and I think she's like the goddess of beauty. So let me just have a look. There may be a sense of charm that you have in your approach to your, what you're looking to focus on. I feel like you're able to like get people that you wouldn't normally be able to get involved in your endeavors. Like, for example, if you do a podcast or something like that, that's really listened to by a lot of people or something like that, then you're able to get guests on there that are really difficult to get, I feel. And I don't know, with this China Master card, the first thing that I'm getting is that, you're really quite powerful with it. And also I feel like quite influential. So let me get one of these first. Interesting. So we have the Sun. Your perseverance is rewarded, and it was reversed. Maybe you want to be the best and you can't be, or you're not able to be the best, because this says to me that I feel like you want to be. And you feel like you work really hard to be, but maybe it doesn't happen because it's like a real, do you know what I'm getting, Pile 3? I'm getting the sense that you might focus so much on the fact that you deserve, that you need to be in a place, but you're not there. I think that might be something that's going on, because I'm just thinking about this block here and this block here. These are powerful blocks. So let's have a look at what the colour oracle wants to say. Oh, wow. Cleanse, and it was reversed. Again, we've got this like circle. Sorry if my ring light is giving you a bit of jip on that. But it's interesting how we've got the two reversals. So I feel like your energy needs to be cleansed. Pile 3. I feel like there's something that's stopping your progress. And I feel like you need to clear it. Let me just double check what these cards mean. So, yeah, what I'm getting here, Pile 3, is that, you are really brilliant at what you do. I feel like you are just so charming and so brilliant at what you do, and you're so good at it. But there's something about you not being the best. Or maybe there's this sense of you have to be the best. And if you're not, there's something that happens. I feel like you're really hard on yourself, Pile 3. Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say. Pile 3, what does Pile 3 need to focus on? The Hanged Man reversed. The Son of Cups, which is the Page of Cups reversed. Yeah, Parvati, by the way, is determination. It's like pure determination and commitment to your goals. Chinnamaster is you being able to enjoy the abundance of the fruits of your labor. And I think that you might be such hard workers. You may be CEOs of companies, and you may be like really focused on making something, like, you probably made like it to the top of your business. Like maybe you're a PA and you also manage other PAs, and you're so good at that. But it's almost like I just get a sense of this kind of insatiable thing that disallows you to be satisfied with the success that you have. Okay, right, so the Hanged Man reversed, the Son of Cups, that's the Page of Cups reversed, the Chariot reversed, okay. Son of Pentacles reversed. Okay, Pile, let me just make sure I shuffle the cards because they're all reversed. So yeah. Pile 3, Pile 3, Pile 3. What does Pile 3 need to focus on, dear Spirit? What does Pile 3 need to focus on? What does Pile 3 need to focus on? Yeah, I can see what's going on. What does Pile 3 need to focus on? Okay. So Pile 3, I wouldn't be surprised if you're workaholics. Absolute workaholics. You don't take any BS. You are very committed and proud of what you have achieved so far and what you have, and you don't like to stay still. You like to be consistently moving, working. I am getting a energy of my way or the highway. And a bit of reluctance to allow any other kind of like ideas that may come through from anybody who is less senior than you, from somebody that you don't see as an equal. It's kind of like I don't know, I'm just getting this sense of like, I mean, maybe this attitude wasn't you the whole time. I don't think it was. I don't think you used to be like this. And it's got you very far. But I think that here there's a real intense focus on the work and how you get there, rather than enjoying the steps along the way. I'm seeing this reverse pentacle, and that to me says like the kind of concentration on the material has been something that's been a bit of a misfocus, I think. The Ace of Pentacles here is telling me that you've got your eye on the prize. You know, you're always looking out for the new kind of project, the new thing that's going on, the new way that you can kind of really expand your talents in. And you're incredibly brilliant, pile 3. But I think that there's a real lack, like, you know, 3 reversals of major arcanas is telling me that this has shaped you into something that gives the appearance of one thing, but really it is devoid of something else. And it's almost like I do see a hole here. I see a hole. And I feel like there may be some need to like cleanse yourself. When I say cleanse yourself, like cleanse yourself of some energy, because I feel like there's some kind of like parasitic kind of energy that seems to be sucking something from you, in the respect that, you know, it's like a hunger. And I'm not saying that hunger is bad, but you're becoming the Empress reversed. You want to be upright. You want to be the Empress upright so that you can embody this Pravati energy, which is interesting because they're both the same color. But she was upright. So that means that needs to come through, as opposed to being suppressed, which is what's happening now, particularly with this. If you don't feel like you can't get your own way, where does your focus go? What happens? Let's see what the tarot wants to say about that. And how can you direct your focus, pile 3? That's so crazy. You had the Wheel of Fortune come up for every pile. Okay, so we've got the Lovers, the Wheel of Fortune, the 8 of Swords. 8 of Swords again came up for pile 2. The Father of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles, with the Sun. That's really interesting. The Mother of Swords. Yeah, no surprise there. Okay, you've got too many. I can't. That's too many. So I'm just going to mention this, like, I don't know, you may have had like a mother figure in your life that may have enforced some kind of like work ethic or way of being that is reverberating, that you are mirroring. Because it's really interesting how we have this Mother of Swords and this Empress energy here. Ace of Pentacles, could you please clarify for pile 3? Just one, please. It wants to say a lot, pile 3. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay, right. So there's something that you really managed to make it successful. I think you're just so so adept, like you're so brilliant at what you do. But there's a sense of you know, there's just no, there's absolutely no leeway on allowing other people to come through with any kind of ideas or anything like that. And even if they do, I don't think that you may put them off. Like there may be a sense of like saying, oh yeah, well, you know, yeah, sure, definitely that'll work next time. We can include it on the next project, but it never really happens. And I just feel that focus that you think that, you know, and it is because you're so brilliant. That's why, because you know how things work. You know that you're really good at stuff. You know that you want to be in control. But that intensity of control disallows you some really amazing opportunities. It actually stifles your fate. Particularly with this Chariot and the Eight of Swords, it actually keeps you in this space where you're still this beautiful chrysalis, but you'll be there with these swords in a kind of prison of your own making. And with the Son of Pentacles, there's just, again, this like, people are scared of you, pile 3. They're scared of you. And the only people that can kind of truly communicate with you are these people that hold that, people that you really respect. There may be one person that you know you really feel that you can listen to, or that you can take advice from, and you do. And I think that this is the energy that you have to embody, because this person is very compassionate. But they're compassionate. They seem to be doing what you want to do. They actually seem to be embodying that energy. Like when it's reversed, like when that's the right way up, they're embodying what you want. And I think if you're focusing on your sense of lack and what you haven't got, like, because even though that's a massive driving force, if you do that, you know, you're kind of stuck in this kind of self-critical phase, which actually exudes onto other people. That self-critical voice, which I see as the Mother of Swords, the Queen of Swords, which is that really harsh tongue, really, you know, somebody who puts people down. And I'm not saying that you do, but how do you talk to yourself, Pile 3? You may talk to yourself, you may think, I don't know what she's talking about. I talk to myself really nicely. But what are the nature of your words? Are they loving and giving? Because this is contradicting with that Parvati vibe. And it definitely with the Empress. The Empress is all of the 4 queens reversed. So that means all of the aspects of it are on the negative side. So there's something that is being pushed across here that you're focusing on. And I feel like it's because you want to be the best. I feel like it's like you know, you have to be number 1. And what this is saying is that you already are number 1. So you don't need to worry about it. It's like that whole thing of like where people, and again, I'll come back to the thing of acting. When people feel like they deserved a role, or they should have had a role, or they should have been that person who got picked for that part, who got that contract. And, you know, it was the one that could completely change their lives. The one that, you know, really would have been the big merger, but they didn't get it. And, you know, you've got a choice in that. And obviously, I think, you know, I think probably some of you who are watching this, you're like, well, I do. I just kind of move on. But I just get a real sense of a lack of compassion here. And with, you know, with that seeking of the new opportunity, there's this sense where you'll just do whatever you want to get it. You know? And you'll keep an eye on everything. And you won't reveal. Actually, this sword, to me, is the one that you will, you know, that you will kind of, at any cost, like you will help people, you will get what you need, and that's what matters. And what needs to change here in the respect to the focus is that you have to accept that you are brilliant, but I think you have to also accept that others are too. And the focus needs not to be on whether or not you're going to be the best, but whether or not you can express some sense of compassion within your work, that's with a sense of integrity. And I say that with caution because I don't want you to come after me, but like I feel like there's just a sense here that you are so advanced that sometimes when you're in that state of advancement, you're thinking, well, I'm so advanced, it kind of like puts you in a you are in a league, you are in a particular league. I'm not going to lie about it. You are in that league. And there's no narcissism here, I don't think that you would seek out to manipulate or anything like that. But there is something that is pretty terrifying. And I think it's because of somebody who instilled like a particular work ethic, and that work ethic is kind of, the balance has gone a bit ski-whiff, particularly with this Chariot here reversed and these two pages. There's a real suppression of any kind of like joy or youth. And there's like here, these two, that they're like, please, can you indulge in these? Because you need this in your life. So the focus needs to be on enjoying the good things that come with what you do. That's pretty clear, pile 3. Okay, I'm gonna pull some mansions for you. Well, I'll pull phases of the moon, mansions of the moon, and a goddess for you. So we've got waxing water moon shoots, instinct. I think you've got like a really good business instinct, but I feel that in relation to people, do you have that? Your relationships. And I think that also there's a possibility that someone, okay, you're not going to do it for me, are you? I also think that there's a possibility that someone, a partnership, is going to help you to find that love, to find that with other people. Ishtar. Okay, and that's full moon energy. Wow, okay. And full moon as well, the idea I'm getting with that is the idea of abandon. It's that, you have to allow the full moon to like have its energy. Things can't be controlled. And I think that there's a sense of you wanting to impose control. And as soon as you start to impose control, that's when you start to choke it, Okay, so we've got those two, and then no, yeah. Sorry, I picked 2 for the other group by accident. Pile 3. Pile 3's, where do they need to focus? The Fool. The Fool. Interesting. Okay, I need to look these up because I don't know what they might have some other meaning. So let me just have a little look at those for you, my darlings. So very interesting, pile 3. So this is the sense of you going for like, trusting your instincts and going forward with what you believe is right. But then you've also got this kind of determination. Now, and this is a fresh start because you've got the energy of the full moon, but combined with Mars and Mercury. And also she's looking back, but yet she's also like trying to run away, or she's looking the other way. Now, what I get from this is that you have got such a strong kind of attitude towards your work and towards the thing that you that you do really well at. But there's something else here. There's something else that requires your attention. And particularly with these 2 cards, there's something that tells me that there is a really strong partnership that is going to teach you something about love. It may not happen in a way that you think it's going to. It actually might be delayed in a way. You might think, oh yeah, it's going to happen, and then it doesn't. Or it may even be that it may be a long distance relationship or something that builds up over time. But it's going to teach you how to be honest with yourself. Because I think that there's been some decisions that you've made that you may not have been happy with. And the more that you focus on that, because, you know, we've got the 8 and the 7 of Swords together with the Mother of Swords reversed. So I do think there may be some self-deprecating behavior where you're like, you know, you are questioning what you're doing. You're questioning where you're questioning whether or not you're making the right decision, because you're usually so like, kind of like, you know, you just go over it. And there's a very big sense of impulsiveness that goes on here, and determination, like you know what you want. But at what cost? At what cost? Yeah. And I'll say it again, at what cost? Meaning the emotional sides of your personality, particularly with that Empress reversed. It's almost like you've got a really good instinct with like one side of your life, but then when it comes to another side of your life, it's almost like that just goes out the window. And that's where you need to place your focus. It's about balancing those two sides of yourself. Very interesting, pile 3. Some chakra energy for you. Let's see. Okay, this was reversed, and look, it was the Svadhisthana chakra, service. Wow. Service. Why do you do what you do, pile? Like, why is it that you're wanting to focus on this thing? Why is it? And I also just get the idea that, you know, that she's looking at them. Why is she looking at them when she's about to fall in some water? You may be somebody that like really like does well in like managing your business, but then when it comes to your emotional aspects, things kind of like, you know, it's not like the same level is put into there. It's almost like you feel like you can cheat that side of things because you know how to get it in other ways, like in the respect of your work or in a different way, or it might be vice versa. It might be the other way around. I think career is the main thing here. And then when you've got service here, you know, the idea of what you do and it's reversed, that's about love and compassion for others in a way that creates things for others. I mean, you may be someone that has a company that does stuff like that. You may be like an NGO or CEO of an NGO or something like that. But maybe the values have maybe gone slightly awry in respect of that. I'm trying to think of it on a kind of lower scale, but I don't know, because like I'm just thinking with this thing here is just, you know, okay, let's say you could be a model. See, I always go to either modeling or performing arts. But you could be a model that does really, really well, and you earn a lot of money. And you're able to really get to the top of your game, and there's a lot of competition, or a lot of rivalry, as I see with here, but then it kind of like leaves you, there's a little bit of a hole there. I just get this idea of a hole, something that isn't, you know, and I think you should go swimming, pile 3, do some swimming, get into the water, cleanse yourself, get yourself into the sea or something like that. Connect yourself with this Svadhisthana chakra. And a really interesting question has come up. And I don't know, it may be very personal to you, but I'm not asking you to, but it's just a prompt. But how do you feel about not being a mother, but like the motherhood? What do you think about that? What do you think about that aspect of like caring for others? And how do you feel about that? That might be something to look at in terms of where to place your focus, pile 3. Okay, let's have a look at, okay. So we've got compassion and forgiveness. Archangel Zachiel. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. So compassion and forgiveness, pile. And I think this has got to be directed at yourself first. Do you know what I mean? Like, this has got to be about you. You've got to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for the things that you're not achieving or you're not doing, because you're doing a heck of a lot. You really are. Okay, so I'm going to pull one of these, the Witch's Oracle, to just before we close that wand. Okay, and it was reversed. So intention. What are your intentions? That's what I was saying. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why? What's your why pile 4? Oh, sorry, 3. What's your why? Why are you doing what you're doing? Because there's some disconnect here with these. Why do you do what you do? Why? I always ask that of my clients, like, why? And I keep drilling down, why? And it has to come down to your congruency with your core values, integrity. And there has to be some kind of deep emotional need. There always is in respect of this. So your focus needs to be on, why do I do this? Your one's really clear, actually. The other groups weren't so clear, but yeah, this is really clear. I think because it's such a strong message. Anyway, I'm going to close out with one of these. Now, you've got so much power, pile 3. You are my power pile. But this is a power. So let's have a look. The power to discern. You are powerful. Concentration on inner truth liberates you from all forms of greed, which can spin you into illusion. Wow. That's kind of said the reading, hasn't it? So that is just some advice in terms of the focus. Please take only what resonates, discard the rest. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed that reading, my darlings. If you did like it, please do like it. Please do subscribe for more videos. But otherwise, I shall see you in the next reading. Take care and good luck with focusing on what you need to focus on. Bye.